and don't understand that when women say they don't like women, it's not, you do not like a woman as a person. Like, you see how you can see, you're like, you see like how you can see your brethren as a whole person and can know his traits and his characteristics and how he is. I don't think a lot of men see women as people.
You look good, you have all of the something they bought you. Yes, goodie!
Are we really here?
Yeah. It has to be, right?
It has to be AI. Hi.
Hey.
Why?
What y'all doing?
Coming back. Shame. I'm not shame. True, we did busy. Life happens.
Guys, you know, I always met this disclaimer. For me, you know, say
life happens.
Things are going in our background.
Honestly, there's a whole heap of life happening.
But you need to.
There's a whole heap of life happening between two of us. How are you, Jodes?
But we're fine. Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. I'm acting like I never see her today. I saw her today. I know how she is.
We're fine.
Anyways, we are back. Hi. And we are going to jump right in because this episode topic is very... But first, let's start with something positive.
Yeah.
Right? So jumping into the goodie of the week.
The goodie of the week.
Okay, so Jamaican girls were honored at the ICT achievements, honored for ICT achievement, which is the information communication technology, right? So on April 24th, 30 Jamaican girls and young women were recognized by Flow and their foundation for their outstanding achievements in, information technology and communication. And among the honorees were, even up to a 15-year-old girl, and she's actually a university student at 15.
What?
Right? Yeah. I thought that was cool.
Wow.
So the recognition highlights significant strides for Jamaican girls in the tech industry, which is still heavily male dominated.
Right.
So yeah.
I think that's like a win for us women.
Yeah, I thought
I
so
think
too.
on the heels of it's in the month of
Women's Month is what, May?
Is that Women's Month? Or there's Women's Day.
Women's Day. No, I think that's March.
Oh.
Are we women? We're supposed to know that. That's so bad. I don't know if it's May or March. I wanted the M them.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably it's March.
Maybe.
Actually thinking about it.
Yeah, I think it's March. But it's nice. I really like Child's Month. When are that?
No, that's me.
Oh, May or Child's Month? Oh.
Yeah.
When are the kids?
That's okay.
So when I know. Even something there, I was seeing people online talking about even Teachers Day, and I was like, wow, I'm so outside the loop.
Yeah, my coworker must say, oh, yes, teacher. I said, this conversation is
not for me, not my convo,
no.
But for sure. Okay, well, shout out to the girls. We love to see it. Keep doing the IT things. I was just having a conversation with Jules, and I was saying that I want more women to take up. I want us to make deals how men make deals. I want us to take up space, and I want us to step into it. Happy night.
Right, yeah. I must not want to hustle as hard as
I'm just
not doing at the end of the day, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, hustle cute.
Yeah, right?
Hustle cute.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, now we are jumping right into our main topic.
Hot topics.
So, right, as you can see by the topic, it is called, what women endure in silence, in fear, and in survival. So, what we're talking about is we see that there is a lot happening in Jamaica globally, for especially around women and kind of just what we go through, right? So we see that Diddy's on trial with Cassie,
right?
And Diddy's on trial as a RICO. Let me just make that clear. Diddy's on trial for a RICO, right? The government is who put Diddy on trial, right? Cassie was called and subpoenaed as a witness to testify, and if she did not do so, she would go to prison. Right?
People say, "Oh, you take the money now, testify."
And I'm like, "Gonna just done."
Reading is fundamental.
Fundamental. Yes. So they're saying, "Why she take the money and testify?" And I'm like, guys, she literally, anybody who's being called, and remember, this is day 6 of the trial, and it's an 8-week
I don't
trial.
think she want the pregnant.
You think she wants to be 8.5 months pregnant and understand
on,
testifying
man.
against Diddy?
Like-
Also, too, in her testimony, she would have stated that, and what her civil lawsuit was about was the fact that she made 9 albums and was not compensated. Like, that was the whole basis of her lawsuit. She testified on the stand that she would have made 9 albums and none of them would be released, like based on her body of work, because she was signed to a 10-album deal with Bad Boy, and she only released, I think, 1 album.
Yeah,
So she said the freak offs, what he had her doing, became her job. So he would just keep it. She called it busy work. So it's like he would have just sent her to studio just to record, but nothing came out. Her music, nothing ever really came out.
I had this conversation with a coworker the other day. We were talking about this, and I'm like, she's also very young.
She was also very young.
Very young, very impressionable, very do-eyed, very excited for the future of her music career. Imagine her saying, wow, I'm getting this really big break, and maybe trying to get her family, make a better life for herself and her family, and thinking like, wow, this is great. Like, I actually had a 10-album deal, I can make some money and start life. And then...
And you also looking at this person, you're looking, and then also too, the devil never shows up as the devil. He always looks like, like you meet this millionaire and he's doing all the things at the start and he's taking care of you and he's doing all the things, and then boom, one day him just or him just, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't think people, so I think there's a lack of understanding, right? For the fact that the cycles of abuse, right? In terms of how deep abuse can. People think abuse is like not looking at your face.
Right. No, there's different types of abuse.
There's financial abuse.
She would have gone through.
And she went through all forms of them. Yep. She went through physical, financial, emotional, right?
I feel like
drug abuse, sexual abuse. Yeah. Like she went through all of them. Yes. So I just feel like there's a lack of understanding of that, and it's like people don't realize that even there is what's that theory called when you become Stockholm syndrome? When you start to even when people are locked in captivity, you start to like your abuser. Yeah. So of course there were moments where she is going to feel love for him.
But it could also be the other way around too. Sorry, it could have been where she was actually in love first, and then the abuse started, because I don't think he came in yo, freak offs. No, he wrote her.
She said that he shared, based on her testimony, she said that what happened is, how it first started happening is that he shared that he was into, it has a name, right? And he shared that he was into that. And I don't remember what the name is, but she said that he shared that he was in, he would, basically it's him sharing a kink that he has with her. And she said she didn't want to make him feel shunned because he shared this super private thing with her. So that's how it started, because it's they use manipulation, emotion,
right, and then the trauma bond or connect with you in different ways to make you feel oh my god, it's so fair.
Yeah, and it's just I just don't understand how, even the conversations that's happening this is why women just hesitate to speak up, because I feel like and I get it, a lot of women lie. I'm not saying no. But too. I would, we'll have to clock it same way that a lot of women lie. However, right, I just think that it is always, I always try to kind of look at it and say, just imagine the emotional psychosis. I was reading throughout this whole thing this week. I read something based on some statistics from the US, and it was saying that women who are raped, if they orgasm during the rape, they rarely come forward, because they think that because they enjoyed it. So they think that with their body's natural reaction to that is because they enjoyed it. So they don't come forward, and it's it's a natural reaction. And I found it interesting, and it made me think of how much psychologically we go through, right? And it's
because even because then there are people who they're liars, especially when there's people who are afraid to come forward, because even when Haley is now coming forward about DDG.
Yeah.
Right? And there are people who making videos. I mean, I don't know.
Think pieces
about how it don't align, because or your mouth for bust up and or your teeth for chip and your mouth no bust up, and how the bruises don't seem like it's from a beat.
And it's like yeah, and it's just like, why are you questioning this? Like it's such a weird thing. But then Holly, so I don't know what people want, because it's like Cassie come out after 10 years, after 11, 12 years of abuse or whatever, right? She come out long after whatever. The people say, why you never leave? Holly leave, and them I say, we not believe you. So it's almost like you can't win. You really can't win.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's always this emotional labor to prove your pain or prove your experience.
It's like you're trying to convince the world that this happened.
Yeah. And then you have men who just don't believe you. You have the pick me women who just want to, like,
because even, I mean, I don't know, I guess maybe I'm preempting the conversation, but even if there was no video of the man what you call it, almost murdering the nurse, then
right?
she would have lied.
You know the craziest part? I don't know how true this is, but I saw something that said well, it's on TikTok, so I don't know how true this is. Preface. But I saw something that said that she apparently went and reported it, and it's only because the video came out why it was being taken so seriously now.
I'm sure.
And I'm just like,
that's not also shocking either.
Yeah, it's not shocking, because that's why I was like, that's so on brand, because you will go right. So we had a lawyer in here, and he was talking about the process of doing rape and the sex offenders registry and all of that. That is a whole other thing on of itself, right? But like when you are sexually assaulted, you have to go to, like, I think 3 places. So you have to go the regular police station, then they take you to Sissoko. And then also too, right? So enough time a rape victim come in there and police all look them. You get raped, you get abused, and police is all looking you, right? Because after raping, you're not even supposed to shower. This is what they're taught. You're supposed to go under the rape. And by the way, a rape kit, I feel like when people hear rape kit, they think it's like a small thing.
No, it's quite invasive.
It's literally a pap smear, right? It is swabbing in your mouth. It is taking pictures, like your hand is up, your hand is out, you're showing. It's taking pictures of literally every part of it. It's so after something like exactly after such an ordeal, it's like,
I mean, if that's how you can do the process, then it has to be the process. But it can be traumatizing too, where it is that some persons may not want to do it because it's the thoughts of going through that is scary.
Yeah. And I think, and I think people see these videos, hear about this, even the thought of, even some of the questions that are asked, right? It shows how deeply ingrained the abusive nature is within our culture, society. Because if a woman and you get into an altercation over a traffic incident, right? And you are able to take her out of the car, spit on her, stomp on her head, as you said, nearly murdering her, because she could have died.
No, to me, you can't say that's an attempted murder.
That is definitely attempted murder in my book. That's
200 pounds upon her head. You don't like killer.
No. So
what?
I don't know. So the whole thing, right, is like, where does because sometimes you hear people talking, and I feel like even the mentality that we have with things is abusive, because things that are celebrated and people think is attractive, I think they don't understand how abusive it can get. So like a guy calling your phone 100 times, like we like to, oh, he loves me so much, or that's not normal. So the things that we've normalized have contributed to the way that abuse is viewed. A man blocking off your car so you can't leave. A man locking, like I see a girl posted a video and she was saying that, oh, like her man never wants her gonna wear, so him lock her up in the house. And she was posting it like he's cute, and I'm like, this starts somewhere. It starts somewhere.
Like something very great to understand.
Yeah,
like,
it starts somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that we don't really think about it enough. And you think boys are being raised to think this in-depthly about?
Some, not all. And then so it's always important. All children, it's also just important to learn consent. And that comes from, if it is that you are home, you have your auntie or your uncle or your mother friend or whatever, and they're probably hugging you or, oh, hi, say hi, or so whatever, and you don't want to, it's okay to just say no.
Yeah.
You don't have to hug, you don't have to interact or whatever. It's just consent, like learning that it's okay for people to say no, and it's okay for you to accept that.
And hearing no.
Yes.
It's okay to say no and be,
yes,
and be okay.
because some of them are enabled.
Some of them just can't hear no. Because even, and I don't think people understand the psyche of what goes through a woman's mind every day, right? Let me tell you just some little things in our mind every day where me just have to do to make myself sane. I literally, when I get in my car, you learn as a woman, lock the door and lock, and that's the first thing. Lock your door and bolt the door, because you don't know if anybody was watching you and be running on you, right? So you come in, you lock the door, bolt the door. Even also another important thing is when you are going certain places, like for me, based on my body type, bigger clothes. So like oversized, like I can't wear certain things, certain places, right? Another one, and another huge one for me is I will always give a man who asks for my number, my number. And it's because I'm literally scared of, in that moment, what you will do if I say no.
Yeah.
So enough time, I'm gonna give you my number, because enough time I've given a guy my number before, and he's called my phone in front of me.
Yeah, they do that.
So I can call you to save my number, and it's just like, hey, you want to test if I gave you the right number? And I was like, yeah, and whatever. And all I do, as I reach in the car, I block you. As you message me, I block you. Because it's just like, that's just the easiest thing.
And I thought and again, that was a part of the conversation I was having the other day as well, where it is that it's everyday life is just hard. Like everyday life is so filled with so many questions, so much paranoia, so much boy. Let me wonder if I really need to go there. Am I, dressed right or not right?
Yeah.
It's like, do I say, can I just go about my business without having to say hi back, because I feel like, boy, together, you may chat too.
Yeah.
And it's just like, can I live? No, actually you can't.
Yeah, and it's just, I just feel like we don't have and I'm wondering if it has always, people are saying, people are questioning. I saw somebody questioning if, I think it was Ganja Class, I think he was questioning if the society has always been like this, and the answer is yes.
It is?
I feel like society has always
it's
been,
it's not been magnified?
I think because of social media and all of that, it's been magnified. But a lot of things that I have heard over the years of even women in my family say that has happened to them, or things that men get away with. And I'm listening to them and I'm like, even our parents' generation, I don't even think they realize, some of them don't even realize that this was actually abusive, or the things they suppress it, right?
A lot of that.
And because a lot of the culture of how even something like as simple as, you're going on the road, somebody randomly slapping your bottom or whatever, that was so, I don't know if people know that was so common. If you're on the road and you're in shorts or something, men just tapping you or something like that, it was very normal. So certain things are just, I don't know if we really even take a step to think about the of what women go through. I don't know if even something as simple as sexualization, people just even do it. I've talked about it. I did a video about it on TikTok, and it's people don't even take you seriously.
No, they don't.
They don't take you seriously, and just even sometimes when they hear that you're a woman, going to meetings, going to anything, it's almost like you have to prove yourself 10 times over. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, it's kind of, because now, it's kind of sad. So it's because I'm if the woman who was with him for 11, 12 years says something, and it's also too, let's not act like he has not. This show you how crazy it is. This man doesn't even have a good track record, right? He's always been in mess. You always hear about Diddy and whatever, right? And the woman who was with him for how much years come out and say something, and it's people didn't believe her till they saw the video in the elevator.
But also remember that there was another woman that was going to come out and tell everything, and I tell her a memoir, and she's now on the ground.
Facts. Also, too, the same girl that was brought up in court, the Gina girl, the other Chinese girl, she sat down with, I think, Tasha K, I think months ago or years ago, and she talked about, or a year before last or something like that. And she talked about the abuse that she went through, and it's just like, why do you think it's so hard for us to be believed? No, that's not. That's one of the. It's another girlfriend, a Chinese girl.
Okay.
I don't know her, but I saw her come up. But why do you think it's so hard for us to be believed? Like,
because I feel like men think that they're owners. That's really what it comes down to.
Property.
There's no sense of respect, or there's no pedestal that we're on. It's just like, Emma doesn't disposable is what we are.
No, you make a good point.
And so that's why it's just like, okay, well, you have to say it's not important outside of, like, when it comes across in like a business space or a corporate space, it's like you're insignificant.
Yeah, a lot of men, and I don't think a lot of men realize they don't actually like women.
No, they don't. But I also don't think that they're gay.
I don't think they're gay either.
But there was an argument about, and I think that was a little.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. Some of them are.
Yeah. But
some of y'all
most of them
men.
are not. They just don't like women.
They just don't like.
Don't like women comes from different scenarios. Don't like women comes from they have mommy issues. A lot of men have mommy issues, and they're afraid to say that they have mommy issues. Don't like men. Don't like women because they feel like they're better than, right? There's so many reasons why they don't like women, but I really don't. I completely agree. I have the same point of view that they really don't. Like
they don't, because the thing is, I think men don't understand that when women say they don't like women, it's not, you do not like a woman as a person. Like, you see how you can see, you see like how you can see your brethren as a whole person and can know his traits and his characteristics and how he is. I don't think a lot of men see women as people. So like a man who says, I always side eye a man who says I can't be friends with a woman, because that means to me you don't have the ability. Like, I would never talk to a man who doesn't have or female, like he doesn't have female friends, or like he says he has no, like you don't have no woman. You have no woman who you can simply see on a friendship level. That means that every woman to you is a sexual object and or an opportunity. So you don't see her as, you don't see the opportunity for you to even interact with this person outside of a sexual nature, and that's so dangerous, because it's like, where does that context end? Because if you're in a work setting, you're gonna have to be cordial or whatever, and a lot of them can't do that because it's a limited environment. Like it only at work for a certain amount of time. But you not having the ability to see a woman as a person who has thoughts and feelings and emotions, and you guys just may not align in terms of a dating perspective, but you guys can't be friends if you can't even, you know what I mean? If you can't even become a friend with a woman without the possibility of, hey, me and her. It's insane to me. It's insane to me how much we are not considered as people sometimes to men.
Mere human beings. It's pretty sad, actually.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of work needs to be done in how men are raised. A lot of us women are the problem as well, because we are we're enabling men. Did you see with the 9-year-old girl, even that, somebody's a known sex offender, and
somebody enabled him, not his mother.
His mother. No, big up his mother, because his mother was like,
she knows,
and she knows. The thing is too, his mother has said she's been trying to alert the public, hey, this man is not because it was like, so
she and she knew that she didn't to women, and she knew that, but there's somebody, a friend or family, who would have supported him.
Because why would you have a known, and then
sometimes I'm just like, is there reform for them? Because there's also that thing, that too. I don't know. Sometimes you really have, is there reform for you? It makes you really wonder, because most of them come out under the same thing.
But you rep a 12-year-old and you get three something years?
But either way, if it's 3 or 15, they're gonna come out and
They're
do the
gonna
same
come
thing.
out and
That's
do
what
the
I'm saying.
same
Like,
thing.
I don't know if there's reform for me, because I think like that is such a deep psychological thing.
Yeah.
And I would want to, curious, but not curious at the same time, as to wonder what really goes on in the brain of somebody who does that.
Yeah.
But it's also just like, again, the work has to be done.
But even from I'm a big believer of Jesus and God can change anything. However, I still a grapple with that one day. Come I feel like certain things is just like, oh, you and be a pedophile. Like, oh, you do that. That's why anyways, me not ever try understand the thoughts of God. But in terms of like, but me just me not see, like, I don't understand, because again, the system failed that girl, the family failed that girl, because you should never have a child. Because like, me no run picnic joke. Anybody know? I never run joke with my dog.
Facts.
I never joke with my dog, much less picnic. Like, if you bring a child around me, like, I'm not like, I don't like them environment there where people just around your picnic.
No, but then you're raised in a certain socioeconomic background.
True.
Just also be mindful of
That's
that.
a good point.
So really, to many, this is normal, and it's one way community. It's just everybody, I know everybody, and you assume that everybody's trusting of saying. That's not usually the case, because some people pray as young as they're 3.
Yeah, and I think the awareness of that, like, because I have a close friend who comes from an environment like that, and one thing with her mother did the damn thing. Like, she said, you're not go to the road.
No,
like,
you don't.
Yeah, like, you have to just because because what they're gonna try to do is pray on you, watch you, all of that. Yeah.
They'll wait till
and all them man they will say or like I watch you grow, or like
sugar nice. Yeah.
Them people there,
crazy, nasty.
Like, you like gross. Or I hate when a person says, "Oh wow, sugar shape good." Him gonna be a ladies man. You adults.
Sexualizing children is actually another conversation, to be very completely fair, because I've seen, like, I don't know, because I'm very passionate about it, and I'm telling you, man, sometimes some parents really set up them children because the things that they share on the fiance's internet is so much. Like, are you okay? Like, do you get know your personal information?
Know your personal information.
Like,
and
why do I know I feel like I've said this on a podcast already, but why do I know what school, what grade, what your teacher picnic name, your picnic teacher name? Like, I don't need to know that. But people don't know the difference between sensitive information and personal information and all those things. And there's a definition for same. And I'm telling you, down to the date of birth is sensitive information.
Facts. Okay, you can use it to get into people's bank accounts. All of them something there. Yeah.
But it's education.
I've seen people show their license on Instagram just to show the picture and cover up the thing. And I'm like, do you know you have apps that can remove the covers that you post? It's mind-boggling to me.
But is it that you think it's education that people need?
I think there is a lot. I think we need education. I think we need law. I think we need law change. I am always hopeful for the better.
Okay.
But I do think we need legislative change. I think the sex offenders registry needs to be publicized. I think people need to be shamed more for abuse and things like that, for it to be that's why I think even now, right? That's why the Me Too movement, and people had so many things to say about it. And of course, you got a few bad apples, but that's why it was so powerful, because now it's like you no longer have the luxury of secrecy. And I think that's what happens a lot with abuse and victims, is that they love a secret. And it's like, and it's just
they
like,
love a good blackmail,
they love a good blackmail, they love a good secret. And one thing about me, man, come talk it first. Like, me, I just like, like, you know what I mean? But not everybody is like that or whatever. So everybody has this. But so I think it's very important that each and every person speaks. But
agreed.
Yeah, and I just think, I want men to really take away and identify coercion and understand how you being a 6 foot tall 300 pound man and asking me for my phone number and or like coming over, even something as standing over me.
Yeah.
Like even sometimes you don't intend for it to come off that way.
But it can.
But it can. So it's like I am kinda and it's like you have to be and you're wondering, okay, what can I do right to approach a person. I think the simplest thing is and I wouldn't and it's and if you see, the thing is, you have to be able to take rejection. So even if she gives you the number and she do whatever, you have to consider the fact that, maybe, like, think about, like, maybe she's been through something. Like, I think a lot of men think that you are negative or you're being a bitch or whatever, but you're really just...
Are you
paranoid? But you kind of have to... And I hate when men say that about women. Oh, you're so paranoid. Yes. But it's like... you don't know your genders or like you don't understand what women go through or to like it's daily paranoia being a woman. So you being as it unnecessarily touched, cat call constantly. The thing and the way that some of you guys cat call and the things that some of you guys say is so disrespectful.
Also this world.
Outside this world that like
like more now sometimes how them come up with them.
How do you come up with these
things? You know,
some
most of them people are picking daughters, to be specific. So then I wonder, like, are you guys hypocrites? Let's understand, because you are.
No, they think of that it's so crazy, right? It's so insane to me how a man can like see his daughter as this pretty princess to be protected and all of that, but then when it comes to other women, it's like you can only see your daughter as a woman.
Yes.
And family members, that's why I say any man who cannot have a woman friend only, it's so telling. It's so telling about the way you view her.
About that, but no, I'm like, wow, for real.
Like, it's so telling about the way that you see women. Yeah. Because it's like you can only put a control on women that you know you can't touch. Co-workers, siblings, family members, whatever. You can only, that's how your brain work. Yeah. So
that's pretty sad.
It is pretty sad. So and that what is the conclusion?
Oh my god, that's something very, very also supposed to say. But anyways, the conclusion is that I feel like women are constantly living in a very dangerous world. I mean, everybody is. What I mean, I think it's a little bit more heightened for us.
Yeah.
I think that it's a constant state of paranoia. What can I do? Da 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 da. I don't feel that. Also, we're not protected. That's really the more of the conversation here. The moral of the story is that we're not protected.
We're not protected.
So we can't protect ourselves enough. Well, we don't have the support of men. So we not going to protect you? Like who? Like who else? Who's going to protect us?
Yeah. Shout out to the few good men that are out there,
but
it's
so
rare, but it is. I think they are necessary in the process. And that was an episode of the Goodgal podcast. So I know it's a little more serious topic.
See you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Wait, laughter and such.